Good evening, good morning, and good night. Welcome to Inappropriate Radio. It's your host, Tashana. Let's get into this. So, hi guys. I hope all is well. If this is your first time tuning in, then I would have you know that here on Inappropriate Radio, we discuss everything from spirituality to religion, right? Psychology, science, social events, as long as the conversation can lead back to spirituality. Now, this past week or so, about 2 weeks now, we've been doing an investigation on the sightings of UFO spacecrafts and reported interactions with alien species, okay? I believe the initial conversation started around December 23rd, and we had begun comparing birth date and death dates, locations, meaning the coordinates, traumatic weather events, political situations or happenings like uprisings or things that are related to bills being passed, right? Or things that just affect a very large scale of people at once, right, from one event, okay? We wanted to compare the numbers that are surrounding all of those things to that of the overall data and stats that is related to these aliens, right? We know that math is the universal language, so that's why we wanted to use the numbers to basically build a connection. The initial download was that spacecrafts are picking up energies and also dropping energies off. These energies don't always have to be souls, right? That was what I initially said. But as we began to do a little more research and got some more downloads, the creator told us that it was not just people, it's also just energy, right? So chaos ensuing, peace being on, the rise, financial blessings, spiritual, awakenings, right? All of these things are energy. And if everyone is experiencing this at one time, then you know that it's something going on in the cosmos, right? It's something in the environment. Now, tonight's segment is about when we travel, okay? We all have an air about ourselves when we travel. And you can take this word travel and apply it to any sense that you would like, right? So if you're talking about spiritually traveling, physically traveling, emotionally traveling, financially traveling, right? But the overall premise here is that when you're in movement, you are in a different form, right? You're a different version of yourself. This is a self or a part of you that is open, right? That has opened up to the environment. And at first, I knew the creator didn't want me to do the alien research because he usually has me do certain things and he'll give me messages throughout the day to give me more info. But I knew when he said, the traveler's mind, okay, this is you opening up. First of all, let's just talk about the vessel. You are literally opening up to this new environment, right? And this is if we're physically, moving about. Mainly the segment is about physically moving. And when I say traveling, I mean just out and about, en route, going on vacation, right? When we travel and we're going into, if you want to say foreign environments, you can. They can be familiar, but if there's always a flux or variation of strangers, right? If you are going into spaces where it's highly unpredictable because you really don't know how this space functions overall, right? and I mean you don't have full knowledge or details, or if you do, it's just not your primary or core space, right? When we travel, we are open up to environments. So the creator wanted me to tell you guys to start thinking the way you think when you travel. And then he said, think about how you feel, the emotions, the ideas that come into your head, the music that you listen to, the people that you're around, the food you're eating, the type of rest you're getting. Everything that you consume is for a reason. When you go to these new spaces, you're literally charging your spirit. Hence the reason why when you travel, you come back rejuvenated, right? You come back, hopefully you've gotten some rest, right? Not just party the entire time when you're gone, but I mean in the sense of being able to get a break from your consistent, regular schedule. I'm not telling anybody to go on a vacation, but maybe you do need to go on a vacation, right? But who you are when you are traveling is one of the links that is connected to your subconscious, okay? And it is connected to the higher versions of yourself, okay? When you're exposed to new environments, new people, new energy is coming into your aura, right? It's coming into your energetic field. And depending on where you are spiritually, you can alchemize this energy and use it to manifest things that the creator wants you to have in your line of sight, okay? And I'm aware, these exchanges aren't always pleasant, right? Those are also needed. This energy is also needed because your ability to alchemize good or bad, right, is you utilizing your skills. You're getting practice, okay, on not only how to transmute, but how to function and have encounters that you know. And I mean, this is for those who are aware of the spiritual battle and they know exactly where they stand in that, okay? Your understanding and experience with these environments, they have a lot to do with the growth that your spirit is seeking, right? What you need to prevail and get to the next level. And it's not always about spending money. You don't have to always go and travel, to places that are far away. I mean, of course, it's good if you have the luxury to do so. Like I said, I'm not telling anybody to go on a vacation, but who you are, your mindset, your personality, your energetic field is a different version of yourself when you're en route, when you're traveling, okay? Especially if you're moving about to do business, if it's something related to family. I mean, if it's just for leisure, it's just for leisure, right? But if these trips have a real purpose, like a meaning behind it while you're doing it, you're not doing it just because, you have sick days. I mean, really going to these places, they allow you to put your mindset in a different tone. Like I said, no matter if it's good or bad, this is an experience that allows you to grow. Of course, if you're going just to hang out and have fun, you can meet new people, you can learn new things, and it can awaken you and enlighten you. But I mean, if the initial reason why you decided to travel is related to something that is going to evolve you physically, no matter if it's good or bad, those are the pieces of yourself that you want to tap into more, okay? Because it'll make you more sensitive. When you're in these environments, hopefully you're a little bit more observant, you're a little bit more patient, you're a little bit more, just understanding, especially when you have a specific destination. Now, if you're like road tripping or something like that, again, if you're doing things for leisure, obviously you're going to be going into places where you're seeing things that will arouse your creative, versions, and even your spiritual and emotional aspects of yourself. But these things are you allowing yourself to be in these spaces. When you have a specific destination, you're not forced, but when there's a purpose behind the movement, that within itself will align your thinking. So let's just say if you had a birth, right? You had a birth in a family, you wanted to go travel 3 states away, and this is something that obviously is affecting you, right? You got new energy coming into the bloodline. This is a life-altering event, a baby being born. On your way, you go through the airport, you see someone that may remind you of a person from your childhood. You go and get food, and the ambiance or the overall energy of the store you go into reminds you of a place you may have visited before. You get on the plane, and then the person sitting behind you is playing a song that dredges up emotions that are connected to a traumatic event in your life. All of those things are hinting, not only triggers, potential triggers anyway. These are opportunities to shed the energy right then and there. When you're in transit, when you're moving, it's a little easier to transmute energy because you're not still. I know that seems backwards, but when you're sitting still and you're trying to transmute energy, you're like a sitting duck, okay? It's easier for an attack to come on, especially if you're fiercely focused on whatever it is you're trying to call in. Because remember, and of course the Creator is always going to protect us and guide us and do what He does. But what happens is when you're in this position of, being kind of like a sitting duck, you are rising in energy, right? Your light is getting brighter, it's getting stronger, so the darkness becomes more attracted to you. So that heightens the warfare, right? When you're in transit, it's harder to catch up. When the devil doesn't know your movement and your next plan, and it's a little harder. So and I mean physically, spiritually, when you're constantly on the go and you're constantly allowing the environment to feed you in multiple ways, it's easier to release because you're transmuting, right? You get to use everything that's at your disposal, to shake these things off. You're creating new experiences for yourself. I mean, in the physical and in the emotional, and as well as in the spiritual. Hopefully when you go into these spaces, they ignite you and inspire you in ways that will allow your thoughts and your thinking to be manifested in healthy ways, right? In ways that you prefer to release energy. And it sounds odd, but one of the best ways to make sure you are transmuting correctly is to allow familiar situations, to play out and really observe yourself, during these interactions. Not just how you respond, how you feel, how you're perceiving the situation, how you interpret the situation, how patient you are with things that make you uncomfortable spiritually, okay? But I'm going to end it here. I do love y'all. I hope all is well. I hope y'all are drinking y'all water, eating y'all fruit and vegetables, and sipping on y'all own tea because it's free. And stay sucker free. All right? Love y'all.